Enter the world of greenwashing. And let me tell you, he's not doing me any favors, all right? Have you seen the North Pole lately? Oof. Do you know what greenwashing is, by the way? I'm going to share.
I'm not sure if I understand completely the term, but could you elaborate more,
Yes.
please?
The term greenwashing is basically just that a company using these green slogans like eco-friendly, pro-environment, or green initiative, whatever, and they slur these slogans all over their products in order to make you feel like you're doing the environment a favor by buying it.
Oh.
So in essence, it's just a marketing trick to lure you to feel like you are doing the changes that is required to combat pollution and increase carbon emissions and all these things. So that's what we call greenwashing, because they wash the products with usually green labels. And these nonsensical slogans like vegan leather, thinner plastic, etc. For sure you recognize it. I think you've seen products with it, right?
I've seen plenty of those almost everywhere. Or when they label something that by default is made out of plants and then they put the label as vegan. Which for me is like, it's obvious. If it comes from plants, it's vegan, isn't it?
Exactly. You need to express to someone that selling a plant product is green or is eco-friendly. You need to tell them that. So, I mean, the incentive from their part is they want to earn just as much money as they are always earning and have been earning, but they don't want to do their part to change for the environment, which is fine for me. I mean, I can actually honestly look at a company, and if they tell me like, fuck you, I'm not going to go along with your green shit, I can be like, fair enough, I'm not going to buy anything from you. Like, okay. It's like they say, if you want to be a bitch, be a full bitch. The problem is when they try to trick you. That's the deceiving part, because they're trying to trick you for two reasons. One, they want you to buy the product. But two, they want to be recognized by institutions and governments that they are actually doing the incentives that are put as requirements on them. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
Have you heard of the company Shell, the oil company?
Oh, yes.
One of the most corrupt companies on the planet. For sure, just Google Shell, you're going to be in for a rabbit hole, whatever. They have been, many times, they've been running ads on TV promoting renewable energy. But they're one of the biggest polluters on the planet. First of all, they're in the top 10 oil companies. And then among those, they stand for like 20% of the pollution.
Yeah.
So it's pretty ironic when they are one of the most polluting actors, and then they are the ones putting ads that support green energy and renewable energy in all these initiatives, like giving you the audience a false sense of it's how do you say it's ingenious or
it's engineering a mindset for the consumers as,
but it's deceiving. It's like
yeah,
it goes beyond just clever marketing. It's like they want to wash themselves. It's like greenwashing. It's not about washing a product green. It's like the company is trying to wash themselves with a green color. And when they were taken to court in Europe, like the EU took them to court because they were, first of all, the British ruled their ads to be false. So they banned the ads.
Oh.
Because they openly said that your ads are false because you're one of the biggest polluters. So your ad is just tricking people. So they're the one of the companies that have the ads most banned of all.
Ah, okay.
But then they were taken to court because of pollution and how they handle, like how they're not living up to the Paris Agreement that have set requirements by 2050, whatever. Even when they're taken to court, they manage to convince people that they're still opt for doing green initiatives. Like even greenwashing courts is a whole different story. I'm gonna go into that, but you know what I mean. Like my point.
I do understand.
Makes me like.
I understand. Also, we're not doing our part for.
And I'm just floating on this ice.
Yeah, the ice is melting.
And I'm very hungry.
You have to travel long distances.
Yeah.
Eat and feed your family. I'm sorry. Also, I'm sorry. But going back to the topic.
Yes.
Talking about Shell, have you heard? I don't know if this is true, but I call it conspiracy theory. But they're the ones funding a group of activists, like the Stop Oil thing, which is kind of ironic, right? Like they are the activists gluing themselves on the street or on a painting, and then they're throwing
Yes.
paint to a paint.
I know exactly what you mean.
And well, the conspiracy theory is that Shell is behind them, so they are providing the economic resources for the activists, for the non-profit organization. But they know that with the activists' actions, which for many people are like kind of counterproductive, that's a type of how can I explain this? Like, because it creates so negative image of climate activists that it creates like a distance between people that is concerned about the environment versus these activists. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but it makes sense because whenever you see an activist like them, you don't feel empathy about their activism. You just feel like, dude, you are an annoyance instead of actually fighting against the climate.
Yeah, you don't feel any sympathy for the cause.
No. So what do you think? You think they've been paid by Shell or other big oil companies like BP and, you know?
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
No. It's like the lengths these companies are willing to go to in order to just keep their business as usual. Yes. So having these false, almost like false flag operations when these stop oil protesters, it's almost like they are acting on behalf of someone with an interest in these oil companies.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But it's tricky because the Paris Agreement basically said that Europe or the world needs to reach a certain limit by 2050. It's like, okay, we all agree that everyone needs to chill with pollution. Every company needs to lower their pollution and carbon emission to a certain level. That was agreed upon by nations.
Yes.
Okay, so nations then tell their domestic companies, now we have this set in place. They're basically laws now. You have to follow these laws. And they're telling the companies, okay, now you need to show us a plan you have so you will reach the goal by 2050. So they're telling Shell, let's say Shell, for example, they say, okay, you need to reduce carbon emissions by this much to reach this goal. Now you need to make a plan to make that happen. The requirement is there. You need to show us that you're going to do it. And that's how they do with all companies. But what companies then do, because there is no way to earn money doing this. Like, this is going to cost money because you already put all this energy out into the atmosphere. There is no way you can generate revenue by taking it off. Like, putting energy out gets revenue, taking it back in costs money. It's you won't. So companies won't. They don't want to go along with this. They don't want to make expensive plans and to reduce their production or change factory lines because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they do this greenwashing
instead.
Yeah, they do these greenwashing initiatives in order to also trick governments and institutions.
So for them, it's cheaper and they save, I don't know, millions, billions with greenwashing than actually implementing all the rules and regulations that governments have been telling them to implement.
Yes. Basically, they have to ban these fucking slogans because the companies were abusing it. So they were saying anything that has to do with making these arbitrary generic claims like from Earth or green, it's like you cannot use it without proving a context that it actually is environmental friendly. So now companies have to prove if something is claimed to be eco-friendly, they have to prove how is it eco-friendly. That's a good thing.
I agree. Yeah. However, I mean, it's good implementation of the law, but I'm a little bit skeptical about how local governments manage their waste collection.
Okay.
Many people, instead of stopping consuming things made out of plastic, they just think, well, I can buy this thing, I can have it, and then I'm gonna throw it out. And then what they say is like, I'm recycling, but what they mean is like, I'm putting in the correct garbage container. Like, this is the garbage container for plastics, so I'm recycling. It's kind of stupid, don't you think?
It would be good if it actually worked that way, but it's stupid because it all ends up burned the same anyway.
But that's another problem that I have with people that think that about it's always the burn. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's a big problem where pollution is
people
sent to other countries.
their plastic that they put in their trash containers that ends up in an incinerator or incineration plant in order to produce electricity, which is not entirely the truth. It's partial truth, because in Scandinavia, there are not many incineration plants. You have hydro power plants, you have wind power plants, you have nuclear,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but not many incineration plastic plants, because incinerating plastic, it's polluting. It's counterproductive if you are trying to use plastic as the source for your power plant, because there are cleaner energies. Incinerating plastic is not cleaner. It gives a false idea for people, like their problem is stopping there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can go and buy whatever I want that is in plastic containers or is in many plastic bottles or, plastic material. And it's okay, because it's going to end up in the incineration plant, and I'm contributing to the electricity of my country. So again, that's not correct. That's not a right mindset. And that's part of the greenwashing. Do you think?
Yes, it could be. Yeah. I mean, okay, yes. If you talk like H&M does that thing, but it's not exactly what you were describing, but they take clothes that are donated and they claim that they reuse them, but they just basically dump them. They just send them to a country and it ends up in a landfill. So it's kind of a greenwashing thing, because they claim that it's going where it's not going. It's claiming that you're doing something in service of the environment, but you're not doing it.
Many Europeans, Scandinavians included, they believe that their carbon footprint is not as large as in America or in China. But there are many data that actually tells a different story.
Yeah, they love to spend. They love to consume.
I think that because they don't see trash on their streets, they don't see these massive plastic or trash landfills. That's why they don't feel that their CO2 contribution to the world is not as big as in other countries. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's also by itself, it's another way of greenwashing yourself as a citizen. Do you think?
Yeah, it is.
Sure, probably in your country there are more wind power plants, but all your waste, including trash like plastics, not necessarily other type of recyclables like glass or aluminum or paper. I'm talking about plastic and electronics. They end up in landfills in other countries, because many countries in Scandinavia, they don't count those that waste, the exporting of that waste to other countries. They don't count that data as part of their carbon footprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
But you don't count the information that comes after where that waste goes.
There's no follow-up.
There's no follow-ups. So this is another layer of greenwashing. It's not only governments greenwashing their government, it's also citizens greenwashing themselves, because they don't have this awareness of where their waste goes. Because for them, as soon as they sort out their trash in different categories, for them is A, recycling, which is not. We already explained what recycling is. And B, it's like, well, I already did my part and my carbon footprint is
neutralized.
Is neutralized, exactly.
Yes.
And that's by itself greenwashing. It's another layer of greenwashing.
Yeah, it's greenwashing yourself, and it's making you think like, well, I'm doing my part because I'm recycling. But even if the recycling is not as you thought it would be, you're still spending and consuming a lot. So your net carbon footprint is still going to be bigger than what you think it is. Actually, when it comes to clothes, H&M is the worst in the world.
It is.
Yeah, but I mean, I have statistics on this.
And it makes you wonder how much they've been part of the greenwashing PR for Scandinavia.
Yeah, they do.
Oh?
Just the fact that they marketed, I said this before, but they marketed that you could turn in your own old clothes to them and they would reuse them or remake them. They would take the fabrics and remake into new clothes. Mm-hmm. That was all just pure bullshit. Mm-hmm. They sent like over 90% of all those clothes right to
to Atacama Desert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was a campaign that they made.
Another Scandinavian bullshitter, greenwasher company is IKEA.
Yes.
They outsource wood from protected land from other parts that are not Scandinavia. So there's already documented that they're outsourcing wood from Romanian forest.
And Ukrainian.
Or Ukraine.
Yeah.
And again, another Scandinavian company that greenwash with lots of PR, and people truly believe them. That's the sad part.
It was even a case where IKEA stole, like they had illegal logging of forests in Eastern Europe. But that's all point of that wraps up like greenwashing, because what it is all about basically is that companies do not want to spend and invest money into a renewable future. They're not interested in that. All they want is their immediate gratification of making money today. That's how far do you think they think? Yeah, maybe they think like 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, but all they see is how much money can we make in 5 years? How much money can we make in 10 years? But they don't think, how is the planet going to be affected in 2070? Like they don't think that way. And yeah, that's kind of the big problem, I think.
It is. But what can we do as individuals?
Okay, good question. As individuals, it's very important that we do not buy products that are obviously greenwashed, because that way you fuel, first you give them money, first of all, but then you fuel this. They basically take data to see how well these campaigns or these greenwashing marketings are working. So if you buy those products, they're just going to keep doing it because then they are getting the data that it works. Actually, the better thing would be to buy the non-greenwashed product, even if it's the same, because that, at least they would probably stop with the greenwashing.
Oh, okay.
And they wouldn't be able to hide behind something, because if the government would ask them, where are your initiatives? They just point at their greenwash products. But if they don't sell any greenwash products, they would not have any incentive to keep them on the market, and therefore they would not have, I think, maybe, I don't know, but maybe they would have less munition to argue with the government for.
Yeah.
But then it's like you say, like when you recycle things, it's good to know, maybe find out locally where actually the recycled things going. What is it done with them?
Yeah, and as consumers, it's good to be aware where to sort out and your waste, right?
Yeah.
We already learned where aluminum in which trash container goes. The same for glass, paper, or plastic. But we need to accept that the less products we consume, the better for the environment.
Yeah.
And that if we, as a collective front, we together stop buying from certain companies, that sends a really strong message.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. What the audience think? What do you think, guys?
Okay, honestly, look at me. What am I?
Yeah,
I know from personal experience, guys. Take my word on it. And if you see greenwashing in the wild, take a photo and share it, and ridicule it, because it's actually fun to look at.
Yes, ridicule the greenwashing.
And it went to such lengths that in EU, they actually voted that now it's illegal to use greenwashing slogans.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were like, you guys are going crazy with it. You can't handle it. So now companies, if they want to put things on the label like from Earth or whatever.
Yes.
Then it's, fuck.
Okay.